And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sterling Channel 19 presenting South Jersey Group 2 South semifinal softball. Sterling Silver Knights taking on the crosstown rival Audubon Green Wave. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz with the call here for you. As Schulz, we take the Colonial Liberty. West Deptford on top. They are the number one seed on the other side of the bracket. We'll get to those guys in a minute, but you look at the top three teams, they're in the Final Four.
Yeah, this is a very good conference, very good division right here. West Deptford, obviously, a very good team at the number one seed in Group 2. There we look at the Group 2 bracket. You have West Deptford on the other side. Kind of got a little bit of an easy run. Cinnaminson might be a tough one for them today, but a clear run. And Audubon and Sterling, Sterling had to beat Buna and probably had a little tougher trip to get to this point, but definitely four good teams in the Final Four.
And take a look at Sterling sitting 18. Audubon sporting a 2-1 record as we take a look at Coach Johnson. Talent. Very interesting storyline coming into this game for Miss Johnson. Talent had a little bit of a scare today. She thought that she was going into labor. Turns out not so much. She's here. She's ready to go. What a trooper.
She needs to stay calm, avoid excessive laughter, but that's impossible for her.
No, very low stress environment for the next 48 hours, I'm sure.
We got check on that one.
It's funny seeing her in the halls, being whisked down the halls today at second block, and then she mysteriously comes back in the middle of fifth block, said, let's go, we're here, let's
ready to go, ready and raring to go. That's not only out of the hospital, but in the dugout.
What a great,
that's impressive.
Yeah, it's a great piece of, I don't even know what word to describe it. Good characteristic. And she's all in. I mean, if anybody is all in, it's definitely Coach Johnson here, and especially given the circumstances.
This would definitely seal that point for sure.
So going over the lineup cards of two.
And coaches. You look at these. We looked at the different stats, Rob. The one thing that I thought was impressive about Audubon and scoring 8.8 runs a game, they have four players offensively that get on 50% of the time, and we've seen in these softball games the key is getting on base and small ball, and to me that's an advantage that they may have today.
Getting ready to go here as the winner of this game will either face Cinnaminson or West Deptford. Sterling can't beat West Deptford this year. They are 0-2 again, so we take a look at the starting lineup for Audubon.
When you get in a playoff situation. And the thing I like about Sterling coming into this game is the fact that you look at the loss against Audubon the last time, and I think that's a good thing. I'd rather have them have that loss than come in here playing twice and winning twice. They always say it's tough to win a third straight time against the team, especially a very good team. So that loss in some ways may have been a little bit of a wake-up call for Sterling, maybe coming in a little bit overconfident, but they're ready to go here today.
And speaking of ready to go, Trish Quinn ready to get this one started. First pitch hit in the air towards left center field. Whalen camps out underneath it for the first out. One pitch, one out.
And the one thing, Rob, that's different as you look at this fly ball go to left field today than the other two games is it doesn't appear that the wind's going to be as much of a factor.
You say that now, but We
The
said
Channel
that
19 kiss of death is that second inning the wind comes along. You're right.
Yeah.
That's our current situation.
I said that in the Buda game, and our tent blew over midway through the 5th inning, in between innings, and every now and then you get that big gust out here. 1-0. Check that 1-1 now. It's a nice healthy cut there by Deanna Pinero, the shortstop.
But a good pitch by Quinn. It was high, kind of going in on the right-handed hitter who has 4 home runs this year. So you have to like the way Trish Quinn in these playoffs has been locating. Her command's been outstanding.
1-1 to Deanna Pinero, the shortstop. Hit in the air. Trying to get underneath it is Ochinegro. Not able to make the catch. It's going to go in there for a hit. Kozineski backing her up. I don't think Hannah Ochinegro had much of a shot at that one. She was backing up all the way.
Yeah, that's a tough one. She had that first drop step, went back, and I mean, that was really almost straight back.
Still have time, ladies.
That would have been a heck of a catch by Hannah Ochinegro going backwards. She actually got turned around. That was a tough catch. Back up to the plate now, Samantha McErlane hitting .493. She's the pitcher trying to help her own cause here with a runner on first. Nice catch by Croge to keep Pinero at first base. Another look at it here. She almost had that. Heck of an athlete, Hannah Ochinegro. 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. 1-1.
Reached back for a little bit extra in that fastball.
1-1 pitch, Pinero on first. Outside, 2-1.
And we talked about one of the telling stats of all those very good stats you see from Audubon is the fact that these first 4 hitters get on base 50% of the time.
The 2-1. Popped up towards first base. Camping out underneath it is Edmonds, and she makes the catch in foul territory for the second out.
Well, Quinn going away from the right-handed hitter, and really the last 2 hitters she's been going away from, and was able to get just a pop up there to the right side. And again, the one that went to Ochinegro really wasn't hit that well, just found the right spot.
Michaela Alkins steps in. The righty looks at strike one with 2 out here in the top of the first in the South Jersey Group 2 semifinal.
And it looks like early on she's getting that strike call 6 to 8 inches off the plate, so she's going to keep attacking that area.
See, Quinn can mix it up quite a bit with some of her pitches between the off-speed stuff and the fastball. The 1-1. Again, popped right up, and that's going to go out of play. Just missed one of our tech crew members sitting on the roof. Jimmy Sales on the roof there.
There he is.
Could have made a catch on that. Now he's trying to think I could have caught that.
We're used to looking at him with equipment on. We didn't recognize him.
1 and 2. Hit in the air to right field. Kozineski squeezed it for the final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1. And we'll head to the home half of the first.
I like the way Quinn handled the first 4 hitters. You saw the fly ball to left field, but the other swings where there was contact, it was reaching contact. Didn't get solid contact, and you've got a pretty decent. And 2 teams, obviously, that are very familiar with each other. And we say it all the time, Rob, the difference between a win or loss here today is fielding and decision-making on the bases. A play here or there, taking advantage of an errant throw or getting that extra base in a lot of cases. How many times have we seen in playoff games that's the difference between teams advancing and teams going home?
Well, that goes to show in the Buna game. Kaylee Whalen reached on an error with 2 outs, and that turned out to be the winning run that got Sterling here. Leading off, Hannah Ochinegro showing bunt and looks at a strike. Again, the winner of this game will advance to either face West Deptford at West Deptford or will host Cinnaminson. Off-speed pitch lined right at Pinero.
Hit it hard, but that's the off-speed pitch. That's almost, it's off-speed in a lot of cases. With your changeup, you want the same arm motion, but that was just like a lob. You saw a different arm motion. It's almost like she stopped and just lofted it.
Brings up Elna Kriebel, who had the walk-off single against the aforementioned Buna Chiefs to win it. Not the first time that El Kriebel has had a walk-off. She scored the game-winning goal in the South Jersey Group 2 semifinals at, not Lower Cape May, it was Middle Township. Middle Township.
Middle Township, okay.
Yep. 1-1. I'd said that after the game, I saw her before the post-game show. I'm like, all you do is score game-winning runs and goals.
Well,
not a bad title to have.
And I think we asked her if she had a little more of a comfort zone going up in that at-bat as she see her foul this one off. Going in that at-bat, going up there in a pressure situation after being in similar situations, different sports, and she said that helped her out. To be a little more comfortable and ultimately come through.
I think she scored that goal in that South Jersey Group 2 semifinal with with under 5 minutes left to go in the second overtime.
You can see McErlane, much like Trish Quinn, is really trying to work the outside part of the play, getting that strike a couple inches off the black.
2-2 to El Kriebel. Thought about the swing right there and thought better of it. And it's a full count. Good decision there by El Kriebel. You saw her hesitate for just that split second. The 3-2 delivery. Fouled off, staying alive.
Looked like it could be up a little bit, but I think with 2 strikes, you've got to take a hack at that. That was definitely close.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Again, the 3-2. Same result. Saw a couple good battles in the last game against Buna. Pitcher-hitter battles. And you have to wonder if that is going to wear down a pitcher over time. Especially, it's hot today. I think it's hotter than it was the last game for sure. And a called third strike. And Kriebel goes down looking for the second out.
Yeah, that was right at the belt, and it's might have been a little wide, but that's what the strike zone's been so far in this game. So it's a big strikeout here early on from McErlane.
Brings up Emily Auletto, swings the first pitch delivered to her off of her and fouled off, so it's 0-1.
Well, that's that real good fastball to start things off to Auletto, and what I liked about that was that it was low, it was down. You get it up to Auletto, and she could really turn on it.
Good job by Brown behind the plate to really frame some of these pitches for the home plate umpire. That was close. The 1-1. Fouled off. 1-2.
And that's that fastball that got up waist high. Auletto had a cut at it, but wasn't able to get it. Obviously, the foul.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Break.
1-2 to Auletto, and here comes a pitch from McErlane. Just missed. 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
The 2-2 from McErlane. And Auletto had to jump out of the way on that one. Again, another full count, back-to-back full counts.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
That almost hit her.
Yeah, you saw the catcher setting up inside. McErlane trying to work inside, outside.
Strike.
And another called third strike. Sterling goes down in order in the home half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. We'll head to the top of the second, still no score.
Definitely looked off the plate. Yeah, let's look at this. This is a good view here. Wow. That's about a foot off the plate, but that's the calls you're getting, so that's the area you want to attack. And you see Quinn and McErlane both trying to establish that area. Yeah, I'll say the plate, but off the plate. It is about a foot off the plate. And we've seen that a lot with, a lot of softball umpires give those pitchers a lot of area off the plate. And we have our tent still, and is it anchored down? I don't.
And by anchored down, you mean in the grass? I think it's an overrated.
There's a couple blades of grass laying on top of it.
This brings up Zoe Snedden, designated player for the Green Wave. It's going to be Snedden, Brown, and Panico for the Green Wave. Called first strike.
Yeah, that was off.
And this one hit into the air right at Kaylee Whalen. Just moves to her left a little bit. She's been busy. It's her second put out, and there's one down here in the second.
And you get the hitters reaching out. You're not able to drive the ball. You're just hitting fly balls. But one thing as a pitcher, and this kind of goes along with the pitcher-catcher relationship, you got to watch to see if those hitters are inching closer and closer to the plate, and that's where you've got to mix things up, go inside a little bit to kind of keep them honest.
Brings up Brittany Brown, the catcher. 1-0 quickly to her. And a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Evens it 1-1. Take another look at it here, and this is a great view here, Kevin. We can see what the umpire's looking at here. Must have caught a little bit of black there. Fouled off into the dugout.
That actually was a little bit closer than some of the called strikes throughout this game. Got more of the plate than some of the other ones, but that's the area where you want to be in general.
One and two to Brittany Brown.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
One out here in the second.
And the other thing, Rob, as we're talking about this, the location, the command, and the areas they're trying to attack, and I know we're talking a lot about it, but it is such a big factor, is both of these pitchers have very good late movement going away.
The first full count of the afternoon for Trish Quinn. And it comes with one out here in the top of the second. Still no score. The 3-2. Fouled back out of play. They'll do it again.
Looks like Quinn took a little bit off that one. The hitter out in front.
Just notice Ashley Croge. She walked the ball up to Trish Quinn, sporting the Oakleys. It is bright out here, that's for sure. The 3-2. Outside, so the first walk of the afternoon issued by Trish Quinn. That is walk number 18 on the season for her.
Still have time, ladies.
Brings up Jax Panico, the right fielder.
As you get towards the lower part of the lineup, obviously here at the leadoff hitter on, you're looking for the bunt.
Fouled back.
Thought they might want to go small ball here in a pitcher's duel.
The 0-1 on the way from Trish Quinn. Runner goes. Ochinegro going to fire over to first to get the out, but the runner does advance. 5-4 on the putout, but Brown moves up to second.
Yeah, that's a real nice job by Ochinegro. Audubon did what they had to do, but I think they thought initially
Thank you, ladies.
hit away, and you had Ochinegro really back far, but you have to like, one thing I'm impressed with her at the third base position, with among a lot of other things, is how quick she can get up and get on the ball, and that's what you saw right there in that play.
Reaction time has to be on point. Another bunt on the way. Here comes Ochinegro again. She's going to go nowhere with it. That's going to be an infield hit. Good job, though, by Ochinegro not to try and get the runner at first, knowing that there's somebody now on third.
Now Audubon using small ball to really start to put the pressure on Trish Quinn here.
Bottom of the lineup now, Gabby Bobo, the third baseman. The lefty steps in as Croge is going to check both runners.
Bobo looks like she kind of goes towards first, has that first step most out of the box. That's where you have to look out for that swinging bunt. And
moving up to second base is Alexis Brassel. 1-1. To Gabby Bobo. And a called strike.
One ball, 2 strikes.
1-2, excuse me. The 1-2. Just missed low. Thought she was going to get the call there.
But you know what? That's a good 1-2 pitch. Low and away.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
But there you see that late movement.
Swung on, hit in the air to left field. Whalen can't get to it, and she misses it. That's a fair ball. It's going to score 2. So a hit and an error scores the first 2 runs.
Now you have a couple bunts and then a ball that really wasn't hit hard, but just kind of hugged the line right there. Took a bounce and got away from Whalen, and just like that, Audubon's up 2-0.
So that puts Bobo on second base on the hit and error. Back to the top of the lineup for the Green Wave. It's Amy Golden, who flew out to the aforementioned Whalen on the first pitch of the game.
And you talk about a good 2-strike approach from Bobo right there. It's a situation you just want to get your bat on the ball. You didn't get solid, hard contact, but you put it in play.
Speaking of solid, hard contact, that's going to go in for a base hit. They're going to be sending Bobo home. Play at the plate. She's in there. RBI single for Amy Golden, and it's quickly 3-0.
And Audubon playing it aggressive, you know, Rob, that is probably a situation where if you have nobody out, you might hold the runner at third, but force Sterling to make a play. You've got 2 outs, you're going towards the bottom of the lineup, and that's a good aggressive move by Audubon there to get that third run.
He's looking right at the third base coach to see if she was going to send her, and she did. That's aggressive right there. Again, another hard hit ball off the glove of Naegele. That's going to be a base hit. They're going to send the runner in Golden, and she's going to score. It's 4-0 Audubon.
Yeah, you see Audubon right there, just had a good solid contact. And you know, they put the ball in play for the most part and haven't really hit it hard, but the last 2 hitters have really driven the ball. They've just been line drives.
Brings up McErlane, the pitcher. Popped out to first base just an inning ago. Quinn down 4-0 here, and all of these have been hard hit balls with the exception of this one. This one's going to end the inning mercifully for Sterling. But Audubon gets 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and they leave 1 stranded. We're going to head to the bottom of the second. Sterling trails this one 4-0.
In a lot of games, one stat that you look at, or one thing you looked at, one factor, is production from the bottom part of the lineup. Sterling did a great job getting through those tough 4 hitters to start things off in that first inning. And then it was the bottom of the lineup that was the big key in getting Audubon out to a 4-0 lead here. Yeah, you see this play just looping in, hugging the line, and I like the two-strike approach there. You know, a lot of times you're always coaching kids in baseball and softball. Choke up, just get your bat on the ball, and good things can happen. As we look at this right here, just kind of reached out, got her bat on the ball, forced teams to make a play. And we actually even saw that on the next one, the line drive base hit up the middle. Kind of went and forced Sterling to make a play at the plate. There we see.
There's the update on Coach Johnson. Wonder what she's thinking right now. She's had quite a traumatic day, to say the very least.
Still stable.
Still a lot of baseball or softball to be played at this point.
And this is a veteran team you're talking about, Sterling, that can come back. I mean, how many big hits have we seen from girls like Ashley Croge, Marissa Naegele, Marissa Edmonds, Gabby Ochinegro that's up here right now. So this is definitely a team that's not going to quit. They were actually down, I think, 5-0, they said, the last time they played Audubon. Ended up losing, but came back in that game. So, you know, this is a team that's really not going to feel the pressure of the moment and just go away.
And the winner of this contest will face either Cinnaminson or West Defford. I believe that game is being played right now. Trying to check the Twitter sphere for some updates. Right now it's just a bunch of baseball updates. A lot of good baseball going on right now. Highland taking on Toms River South right down the road. Really good matchup about 5 miles down the road. Some South Jersey Group 3 action. Ball gets away here. It's going to be Gabby Ochinegro, Marisa Naegele, and Ashley Croge to lead off the home half of the second.
What was that again, Tad? I didn't hear you.
Hey, let's go for
1-0 to Gabby Ochinegro. Ball gets away, and this is how important it is at Schulze for Sterling to have at least get a couple back in this bottom of the second.
Yeah, and you see there's been times throughout this year where they've been, we'll point back again to that last Audubon game where they gave up runs early, were able to hold them, and almost came back and won that game. That was the game where they allowed Audubon to get 5 runs in the first inning and came back. So that's why you look at it, you feel there's no reason why they can't do that today.
And they have the bats to do it, that's for sure. Off-speed pitch, good job by Gab to wait on it, but it's going to be an easy out as Bobo fires over to Alkins for the out.
And that's that off-speed where you almost just, the arm motion comes to a stop. Your typical change-up in baseball and softball is going to have the same arm motion, just a different grip, and the grip is going to allow the change in speeds, but in the last half of that throw, she's just slowing up the arm motion.
Kriebel, check that. Naegele legs it out for an infield single. That one hung up in the air what seemed like forever. And that's a close play, and she does beat it out, but just barely.
Yep.
So the no-hitter is gone.
Not how far they go.
Nope.
It's where they go.
1 out here. Naegele breaks up the no-hitter early on in the second inning. That's Sterling's first base runner. Croge on a rope to left field, and that's going to move Naegele up to second. Back-to-back singles for Sterling.
And the Channel 19 sports team is officially not in danger of missing a no-hitter.
Yes, that's why I
heard
say
that's
it now.
happened like before, but I don't.
Not by us.
Not by us.
Not by
There were
us,
some
of
other
course. No.
announcers that nobody
JV
knows,
team.
probably. We're lying. It was us.
Yeah, that's totally us. Our apologies again to Angel Benjamin. Who was it that we met that you and Farr missed one too, right?
One of our co-workers.
Whoops.
Sarah L. Macy, our freshman coach. We did the game, post-game, and kind of looked at the newspaper the next day and found out.
And it happened in baseball too. We missed one.
We tried blaming Farr, but he would not take the blame.
Whalen, base hit into center field now. Sterling's got him loaded with 1 out.
And it's about finding open spots. You know, the first ball was hit, just popped up, looped in it, and it wasn't hit hard. by Marisa Naegele, and then you see consecutively Croge and Whale and really drive the ball, but hit them in good spots.
3 straight singles for Sterling, and that brings up Marissa Edmonds, who we know can hit the cover off the ball. Had a great junior year last year. Had an injury this year that kind of hampered her in the beginning to the midpoint of the season, but now she's getting back to her form. First pitch to her. Swung on, hit, just foul. We can't see the chalk that much, but we're going to go to Eric Schulz to my left. He's saying missed by about 6 inches off the line.
Just missed.
It's a game of inches.
That's right.
And now a meeting at the mound. Nice piece of hitting there, especially on a first pitch by Marissa Edmonds.
And this is where you've got to take advantage of opportunities. You talk about looking at games at the end of playoff games or tight games, and leaving runners on base is usually a telltale stat.
Sterling can tie it up with one swing of the bat here from Marissa Edmonds. The 0-1. Hit on the ground to third base. They're going to go home for one. Do they get her? They do. Nice scoop there by Brown to get the force out.
Well, that was an outstanding play by the third baseman, coming in there and just having to get rid of the ball. I mean, she didn't even get a chance to set her feet, had to get rid of it. You had a throw that was low, but an even better play by the catcher. So Bobo and Brown really do the job right there to put Audubon in position to get out of this inning.
Chance for Trish Quinn here to help her own cause with bases loaded, 2 out. First pitch to her. Fouled back. Only 3 RBIs on the season for Trish Quinn. Boy, would she like to add to that right here.
And you talk about the mental letdown of having a situation like this and coming away with it. Nothing. And in a lot of cases, if you're not able to get to a pitcher in this situation, it just makes the pitcher that much stronger as you move on in the game.
1-1 to Trish Quinn, and that's back to the top of the lineup with Hannah Ochinegro.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out.
Huge at bat here for Trish Quinn. The 1-1. Popped up. Underneath it is Bobo. Squeezed it for the final out. Sterling threatens, but they don't get any runs. They get 3 hits. No errors, and they leave them loaded. And we'll head to the top of the third. 4-0. Audubon.
What's that?
Take a look at that. This was a huge situation here. Sterling to get at least 1 or 2 here, and they come up empty.
You had a few hard-hit balls, but I think the key play there in that inning was Bobo to Brown with that ground ball. Bobo got it, and we said you always want your third baseman in most situations to set your feet. Really had no time to do that, just had to get rid of it. And obviously, if you're not able to set your feet, you're going to get the result in the throw that she got with the ball bouncing. But what an even better play by Brown, scooping it up to get that second out that obviously McErlane was able to get Trish Quinn to pop up at the end of the inning. But we said that's mentally deflating offensively to Sterling, and we talked about a very good pitcher, McErlane, getting out of that situation. That could make her even stronger.
Take a look at some of the assistant coaches over there. You see sitting down in the chairs, you have Pete Marley's, Justin Barringer, and also out there, Matt Sheehan, the athletic director, and Jared Claiborne out there as well, the new athletic director.
Napoleon. And Mr. Shan is coaching Mr. Claiborne on how to make sure you have somebody who's experienced in childbirth.
Yeah,
close to the
you
coach.
never know. And where's Sean
something-
Plank too? Is he's out there?
Now, if you look
He's
deep
ready to
into
go.
the athletic director guide, I think it's like on page 506. There is something addressing that. You have to be ready for everything. So. Now, this is where, if you're Sterling, you absolutely cannot allow Audubon to extend their lead.
So for Audubon, it's going to be middle of the lineup. Alkins, Snedden, and Brown. Alkins grounds one foul down the third baseline, right in the Audubon fan base there. So Sterling gets bases loaded, one out, and they can't put any across. Hit on the ground, right at Ochinegro. Nice grab by Ochinegro. Has a smile on her face, and she should. One out. We've talked about this time and time again, Kevin, about how quick she is at third base. We've been saying this for the last 3 years.
Well, getting a hard hit ball to her right there, setting the feet and throwing. We saw that last game. Yeah, and we talked about her coming up on a bunt that really moves well to her left also.
Brings up Zoe Snedden, who led off the second inning. She's 0 for 1. Two and 0 to Snedden.
Two balls, no strike.
Finally, a strike from Trish Quinn.
Two balls, one strike.
Takes sign all the way on that one.
Yeah, and you could see that pitch that we saw, Rob. We talked about not only hitting the outside part of the plate, but having pitches that have good late movement.
One out.
Popped up. Hannah Ochinegro underneath it and makes the grab with Kozaneski charging, and there are two away.
Yeah, this is where you want good communication. Almost had a collision right there, but in any event, Hannah Ochinegro was able to come up with the out.
2 outs, ladies.
2 outs for Brittany Brown. Walked and scored a run to lead off that last huge inning for Sterling. There is some activity in the Sterling bullpen. It's hard to see if it's just some of the younger players just throwing around, or if it's actually somebody warming up. It's out of our sight line, but it's 2-0 to Brittany Brown. Called strike on the inside part of the plate, 2-1 to Brown.
One strike.
Brown was the one that started this half inning. I believe that's Angel Benjamin over there warming up. Fouled back, 2-2. Angel Benjamin, good pitcher in her own right. The senior. I wonder if she's just getting warm just for emergency use.
Angel Benjamin over there. Angel Benjamin warming up.
It's a good job by you going over there.
It was hustle. I was in a full sprint.
I saw that.
Not really, but
It's aggressive.
they don't know that.
The 3-2. Hit hard into left center field. Krieber's going to get it off the wall, and it's going to be a stand-up double for Brittany Brown.
And that one got a little more of the plate than I'm sure Quinn wanted to, but at the same time, when you get those full counts, that's when you're going to get pitches over the plate in that last inning when you get runners on base. You can't really give up balls, and you're tending to have more pitches that get parts of the plate that you don't want it to get. And I think that happened for both pitchers in that last inning.
And it's the 6th hit surrendered by Trish Quinn through 2 2/3 innings. 1-1 to Jax Panico, 0 for 1 on the afternoon.
One ball, one strike.
1-1 is low. It's 2-1.
Two balls, one strike.
Popped up off the screen. And that's 2-2 now with 2 outs here in the top of the third. Audubon leading this one 4-0 after a big 2-out rally by the Green Wave just an inning ago.
And that one was right down the middle, but that was that real good overpowering fastball that you've seen a lot of these hitters foul off.
Count is now full to Jax Panico with Brittany Brown standing on second base. Here comes the 3-2. Ball 4.
Wow.
And Panico is now aboard.
I want to see this one again.
Just the second walk surrendered by Trish Quinn.
Oof. Might have been a little up and out, but very close to some of the strikes she's been getting. In any event, you've got 2 outs, runners on first and second. Quinn's really got to bear down here.
This is where Sterling got into trouble this last inning with his bottom half of the lineup, and when you're getting production out of the bottom half of your lineup, that usually spells success.
Yeah. And you know, you felt good if you were Quinn with the way she got through the top 4 to start things off in that first inning.
Alexis Brassel tries to bunt, and it's a good one, and she's going to get aboard. Now the bases are loaded with 2 out. Infield bunt single for Alexis Brassel, her second in as many at-bats.
Well, you talk about a little subtle play, but it probably saved some runs. Was the scoop by Hannah Ochinegro at first base. Ball bounce, that goes by her. That's 2 more runs right there.
Brings up Gabby Bobo, who had the RBI single.
2 outs, lady. Ball.
Takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Sterling in trouble here in consecutive innings. They cannot afford to surrender any more runs.
Ball.
2-0 to Gabby Bobo.
Yeah, you look at Bobo right now. She's kind of coming out of that batter's box.
Bobo on the ground, and it gets into right field for an RBI single. It's 5-0 Audubon.
Just kind of poked it, found an opening off to that right side. Kozaneski doing a good job coming up on that play to avoid having Audubon getting 2 runners across.
Back to the top of the lineup for Amy Golden. She looks at strike 1. Golden 1 for 2 with an RBI. Golden on the ground to Naegele. Naegele, high throw, can't be corralled. That's it. And they're going to call interference, and the inning will be over.
Let's take a look at this. Yeah, she just brushed Naegele as the runner was going by, and Naegele was trying to charge the ball. Get a look at it here. Well, that was just a little bit after, but as she was coming down, you could see the runner just brush by her, hit her shoulder. The umpire was right there to make the quick call.
Audubon
here's a good replay. Yeah, it looked like she just swiped her a little bit, and umpire made the quick call right there. And Sterling very fortunate that this inning it wasn't bigger than it was.
Finally, right? Nope.
See it right there. Just kind of went by her. as the ball was getting to her. But in any event, Audubon's able to tack on another run and make this potential comeback that much tougher for Sterling as you look at Hannah Auchinegro leading things off.
So on the runner's interference, back to the top of the lineup for Hannah Auchinegro, El Crebo, and Emily Auletto to lead off the home half of the third. Sterling really going to have to get now a delay. Not sure what everybody was looking at, but delay, and now we're back ready to go. But Sterling going to have to get going here offensively. Had bases loaded with one out in the last inning and was not able to get any runs across.
And you don't necessarily have to get all 5 runs back in one inning, but you need something, especially when you threaten and you come away with nothing.
One ball, one strike.
1-1 to Hannah Auchinegro. Showing bunt, peels back, and now hits one right at the first baseman. She's going to take it herself. 3 unassisted on the putout, and Auchinegro's 0 for 2 on the day.
Like an inside-out swing there by Hannah Auchinegro. You see her just kind of fist it there to first base. And a good job by McErlane working both sides of the plate. There you see her going inside right there. So we said, you know, primarily these pitchers are working outside in those first couple of innings, but you want to mix it up because now the hitters, second time around, are going to start crowd the plate a little bit, and that's why you're seeing them go inside.
Crebo on the ground to second base. Golden over to Alkins for the out. 2 away.
Well, Sterling right now just having trouble driving anything. Here's Emily Auletto, girl who had a lot of success, had a couple hits, couple RBIs. The first time these two teams played, I believe, was back in April.
Auletto
2nd.
on the ground again to Golden. Over to Alkins for the out. 3 up, 3 down, very similar to the first inning. Sterling goes down in order in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. Move the top of the fourth, 5-0. Green Wave.
Well, we talked about the potential for a pitcher like McErlane to get stronger after surviving that bases-loaded situation. I think that's what you witnessed right there in that last inning.
So our tech crew guys,
Casey and
baking in the sun today.
David. Aiden.
Hey, Sam. Sam Whalen out in, is that left field?
Sam's in left, yeah. Left center, maybe. Well, nice day. The wind that always comes and visits us, usually around the second inning, kind of stayed home today. So.
Coming down.
Sterling only able to muster 3 hits, all of which coming that second inning. Deanna Pinero is going to lead off for Audubon. It's going to be Pinero, McErlane, and Alkins. Leads the team with 29 runs. Pulling off our best Ashley Croge impression there. Croge leads Sterling in runs scored. 1-0 to Pinero. Low, 2-0.
Pinero, one of those ones with an on-base percentage over 500. So.
No strike.
the ground, foul. Third base coach, kick save and a beauty. We'll take a look at Ashley Croge rocking the sunglasses today. She's the only one staring directly into the sun today. Hit in the air, a mile. El Kriebel backing up at the fence, makes the catch. That ball was drifting. And Kriebel gets underneath it for the first out.
Well, Panera really hit it good, just got under it a little bit.
Brings us Samantha McErlane 0 for 2 on the day. Popped out to Trish Quinn, her last at bat to end the second. And that's hit in the gap in left center field. Whalen's going to pick it up off the fence. Stand up, one out double for Samantha McErlane. And I tell you what, Kevin, Audubon's really hitting the ball hard today.
Yeah, McErlane's doing it on the mound and there with the bat. And that one,
they're going to pinch run for McErlane.
It was a little bit different. Panera hit it hard, but got under it. But McErlane really drove that one to the gap in left center.
Mackenzie Greenwood is in to pinch run for McErlane. One out here in the top of the fourth, 5-0 Audubon.
One out, lady.
For Hawkins. Have to think of how much this momentum of having a 10-game win streak. Sterling coming in with a 5-game win streak of their own, but Audubon doubling that up with a 10-game win streak, playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, not only 10-game win streak, but you can also see why they're a team that's averaging over 8 runs a game.
Sterling only able to muster, I mean, they got 11 runs in that opening round matchup. Only able to muster 2 in the last game. Popped up. Edmonds makes the catch in foul territory for the out. Big out for Sterling here. Far right next to the fence there. You see him coming right into your picture there?
Yeah, he quickly popped out of his seat.
Ready to make the catch? Tell you what, everybody over on that first baseline baking in the sun out there. Give them a lot of credit. Some people hiding underneath, seeking shelter from the administration building.
Good crowd on hand. They get bigger with each round you advance to. Remember, we had the championship game here.
Hit into the air to right field. Kozaneski ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave one. We're going to head to the home half of the fourth, where it will be Gabby Ochinegro, Marisa Naegele, and Ashley Croge trying to get Sterling going.
Sterling, at this point, Rob, we talked about it, is a team that's in need of some offense, and as you get later on, that's even more so the case. But, you know, the one good thing is, in looking at this team, this is not a young team. It's a team with a lot of veterans, a lot of experience. So if you ever have a team in this situation where they're down, they have to come back and could do it, this team could do it. As we look at Mr. Dan Farr.
I'm really surprised that he's not keeping a book. I mean, he did it. He's very good at that. He's very critical. Well, I wonder how he scores this one.
The older Mr. K, who's probably keeping the book in his head and just is giving Mr. Farr any statistical information at will.
When in doubt, we always contact Mr. Farr on the official scoring. So take a look at Coach Johnson. She's still with us, hanging in there. And it is arguably probably the hottest game of the year. Mm-hmm. At least we have a nice little breeze coming through here every now and again, but still, she's had a heck of a day.
I think they said contractions every
17 minutes
17
apart.
minutes, which I'm away from that. That's one thing you're into when you're around the point where you're having kids, but you forget if that's what the distance is where it really gets crucial.
Well, we have a camera solely on Miss Johnson for the entire length of this broadcast. It would be a Channel 19 exclusive. It would be a first, that's for sure. First pitch on the way to lead off the home half of the fourth is a strike to Gabby Ochinegro, 0 for 1. On the day, grounded out the third, her only plate appearance.
Look like she started off Ochinegro with a changeup to the outer part of the plate.
Ochinegro fouls it off.
But that's the luxury, Rob, that you get from a 5-0 lead, in that you can kind of pitch backwards, try different things. There's not as much pressure on the pitcher here at this point.
0-2 to Ochinegro. Sterling gonna have to get the bats going. On the ground, right at the first baseman, and it's gonna be a tough play, and she's safe. She beats it out. Infield single for Gabby Ochinegro, and Sterling is aboard with nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. That would have been a tough play for Alkins.
Yeah, and Ochinegro really showing some speed, made up probably about 10 feet quicker than you'd expect.
Watch Ochinegro on the base paths here as Naegele steps in and looks at a strike.
Down 5-0, like we said, probably taking the first pitch for their first strike.
Don't have stolen base stats in front of me, but in all the games that we've done, Gabby Ochinegro, should she get on first base, she's usually on second within a few pitches. 0-2 to Naegele. Pitch on the way from McErlane. Way outside. Surprised Ochinegro didn't go on that one.
Yeah, that was one that just got away from McErlane. That's where you kind of step off the mound, recompose yourself.
It's a good job by Brown to bring that one in, too. The 1-2. High, ball 2.
So missing high again.
Sterling needs a rally, trailing by 5 runs here in the bottom of the fourth. Laces one foul. Nice job by Brassel out in left field to try and run that one down. It's a couple steps behind it.
Good hustle there by Brassel. You thought
came out of nowhere.
It was just out of the way and not even going to come close, but came within a few feet of making an outstanding play. Hey, Rob, this is the type of a bat you need in this situation. Work the pitcher, make things difficult for McErlane, and you're getting that right now from Marisa Naegele.
2-2 to Naegele. Again, fouled off. Ochinegro will stay put. Ashley Croge waits on deck. Naegele singled and then got thrown out at home in the second inning, which you said was a key play. Off-speed pitch, ball 3, and now the count is full to Naegele.
Well, there's that. I guess we'll call it a lob pitch. It's not the changeup. You've got the fastball, the changeup, which both have the same arm motion. On that one, she just slows up the arm motion right at the end.
3-2. Hit foul down the first baseline. That's a souvenir.
This is just a swing to protect yourself right there. Fouled off, keep yourself alive. Just a great at-bat here by the senior, Marisa Naegele.
Part of the 100 hit club here at Sterling late last year. The 3-2. Fouled off, that's going to go behind the backstop. And they're going to get that one down. Oh, it does come down.
Just hold it, just hold it, just hold it. You can hold it.
Do we go to Mr. Farr or the older Mr. K for the number of pitches that she's fouled off, or do you have that?
I don't have that in front of me. They're more aggressive than I am.
out there.
Yeah, no, that's 3-2. And ball 4, Sterling has life here, and a great at-bat by Marisa Naegele.
Just an outstanding at-bat against McErlane, who to this point with the 5-0 lead, and you know, you threatened with getting the bases loaded, but the last 2 innings, she's really been mowing them down and been in control of the game, and that's what you need, especially with a girl like Ashley Croge coming to the plate.
Ashley Croge can make this last 2.5 innings very interesting with one swing of the bat here. First walk surrendered by McErlane. And there are 2 aboard with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Swings at the first pitch, healthy cut there by Ashley Croge.
Got that ball up, got some of the plate, and that's the other thing. When you threaten, you get runners on base. You had a pitcher like McErlane working outside, locating. This is where they're more likely to get balls that are out over the plate, and that's where a girl like Ashley Croge can take advantage of it.
Hit almost into the gap. They get the runner at third base on the force out in Ochinegro, and there's one away. 6-5 on the putout.
Yeah, that's a real nice job there by Pinero, going to her feet, just lofting it over and getting that lead runner. That's a huge out right there on a hard hit ball. I mean, that's that lob pitch. Croge did what she had to do, waited on it, stayed back, drove it, but just a great job of Pinero going to the hole, going to her knees and making the play.
I thought initially that was going to sneak through the hole there, but that was a nice job by Pinero to eat that one up and have the presence of mind to send it over to Bobo for the out. Brings up Kaylee Whalen.
No. Stay right here. Stay right here.
And hit her. They're saying that she leaned into it, and now here comes.
She turned to try to get out of the way. She turned to get out of the way. You asked him for, excuse me, I'm here, and I'm turning to get out of the way. Can you ask him for help? Can you please ask for help? Please ask for help. Please ask for help. Oh my God.
She was just stepping into it.
No,
yeah,
I am.
Go back.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. You don't have a helmet on, so you need to be off the field.
We're good.
They're going to ask for help here. You can hear Coach Johnson then, home plate umpire, saying that she didn't make an attempt to get out of the way.
And if you look, there really wasn't a chance. She put the foot down, and just as at the point that she made the step into the pitch, you really didn't have time to get out of the way.
Yeah, because
And that's where you have to judge it from batter to batter. You know, Rob, some hitters step a little bit earlier.
Sure, because she's in the box.
and I think you told me to go talk to my partner, did you not?
We asked you to ask him
And
for
what did he
help.
say?
And you didn't see her turn to get away from the ball. You
No,
saw
ma'am.
her turn to get to the ball.
She did. I got her doing anything.
Intentional when I'm in the box?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and
Intentional when I'm in the
With
box?
her knee, yes, ma'am.
Come here. Because
and you look, she's stepping. Once her foot lands, though, it's really no chance to get out of the way at that point. And
Let's go! Come on! Let's go!
What is the count? A ball. What is that? It's a ball. It's a ball.
Because it hit her.
Okay, come on, get back there.
Wow. And a break for Audubon here.
One ball.
Ball 2 to Whalen.
2-0, I'm sure.
Should be
Taken all the way here.
I mean, it should be bases loaded with one out, in my opinion, but Whalen fouls one off here. I mean, you only have so much time to react, especially in softball. And remember that, circle that moment in this game, in this inning, for sure. Talk about the little things in these games, Schulze. And now another stoppage, and now the Audubon head coach going to come out and talk to the home plate umpire.
No, man. No, man. The ball got hit with her leg in there. But her back. It was a ball, not a strike. No, not a strike. I'm just not giving her the base.
This has turned into a very interesting bottom of the 4th, one of the more interesting innings we've seen. Let's see how Kaylee Whalen battles back here after getting plunked in the leg.
Garbage ball.
And now some jousting going on back and forth here. You see this in baseball a lot where batters will step out as pitchers are about to pitch.
Yeah, but that was just not a good call at all. I mean,
Whalen loops one foul down the left field line, out of play. 2-2 to Kaylee Whalen. And she needs to get on board here to kind of keep this Sterling momentum going as they are faced with some adversity with that hit by pitch non-call. And a strikeout. Whalen goes down swinging. It's a third strikeout of the afternoon for McErlane.
Well, that's that pitch that goes in on the right-handed hitters. In the last inning, she was able to get a couple weak ground balls fisted from that pitch, and obviously right there she was able to get the strikeout.
First pitch to Edmonds is a ball. She's reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning, but was stranded there. On the ground to third. Bobo is just going to step on the bag herself, and the inning's over. So Sterling, again, no runs on one hit, no errors, and they leave one.
Come on, ladies. Yep, just put it right there. Thank you.
But again, you're going to look back at this game and look at the total runners left on base, and I don't know how many they've had, but it's at 4 right now.
We'll go back to that controversial pitch, as I'm sure Coach Johnson and the rest of their staff not happy with it. Coach Johnson in the dugout, hydrating.
And I think, I'll go back to when you look at this, some hitters will step a little bit earlier than others, but you're looking at a hitter that's going to step, and when they plant, it's right when the ball is there, so there's really no time to get out of the way. So I think, you're just stepping into it. You can't get out of the way when your legs is in the air, and that's a situation I think that you've got to look at it differently from batter to batter. And obviously Sterling just not getting the benefit of the doubt, and that's a play where they should have had the base runner, and it could have been a whole different inning there.
So for Audubon, it's going to be Brown, Panico, and Brassel, the 6-7-8 hitters for the Green Wave.
And this is the group of girls in this lineup that was able to get things going and get Audubon off to that early 4-0 lead in the second inning.
Brown 1 for 1 with a walk, a double, and 2 runs scored. Again, hit hard right at Naegele, fires over to first for the out. 1 down.
Yeah, this is a line drive to Naegele, and you talk about a shortstop reading a hop or one hop line drive, and that's what you saw from Marisa Naegele right there.
Brings up Jax Panico, 0 for 1 with a walk. And nice pitch there by Trish Quinn, and swung through by Panico. Sterling really has to get the bats going here. Only 4 hits through 4 innings, as opposed to Audubon, who has 5 runs on 9 hits. Sterling has only left 4 runners on base, as opposed to Audubon, who's left 5. So even Audubon still left some runs out there.
Well, and looking at the stat sheet, which Mr. K just did an outstanding job getting together before this game, the one thing that really stood out is you look at Trish Quinn getting a strikeout right there, getting the second out. The one thing that stood out, as you look at this on the replay, to me, and a couple things I go back to, is the 8 over 8, getting 8 over 8 runs a game, and the first 4 hitters getting on base 50% of the time. And that's the type of offense we've seen so far.
Brassel down the line in the left field. Whalen scoops it up quickly, and good job by Whalen to hold Brassel to a single. She is 3 for 3 on the day.
Now that's just a case of Brassel turning on that one and finding that little opening to the right of Gabby Ochinegro, a girl who moves well laterally, but that ball was hit hard.
Brings up the lefty, Gabby Bobo. Looks like called first strike. Bobo, 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Arguably Audubon's MVP so far today.
Yeah.
There's been a base runner on every single inning for the Green Wave.
1 ball, 1 strike.
1-1 to Gabby Bobo. Lefty punches that foul, 1-2.
And I have to think, and I'm not a pitcher, softball pitcher, baseball pitcher, but it's got to be tougher to throw to a hitter that's moving the way Bobo moves like that.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. 1.
The 1-2. Popped up foul by the TV truck. Count will hold at 1-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
1 ball, 2 strikes, play.
Ball's low. And sliding into second safely on the stolen base is Brassel.
Well, with 2 outs, you're ahead, take a chance. Why not?
2-2 to Gabby Bobo. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, hit right back at Quinn, and this will do it for the inning. 1-3 on the putout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 stranded again. And ahead to the bottom of the 5th, 5-0 Audubon.
And we talked about the runners left on base, and if there's one thing that's got to change, and it's one of the differences between these two teams in this game, is the timely hitting. You're getting it from Audubon. Sterling really hasn't been able to take advantage of any timely hits with the runners on base, and a lot of times that has to do with balls just finding open areas, and it just hasn't happened for Sterling.
And we have 10 competition. A green 10 against the white 10.
I think theirs is bigger than ours.
I would agree with that. That's an aggressive. That's like almost a camping tent. I like that. They have a grill in there too. You see any grill paraphernalia in there?
But that one could probably go further in the wind. The bigger it is, the further it would go. So we'd be laughing at them.
Well, ours has been
But
tested.
they're laughing at us.
Aeronautically. We know ours can fly. I don't know about that green guy. Where is that thing? Oh, it's behind us.
Here's Coach Talent. Contractions are now down to 14 minutes and 30 seconds. Completely unofficial stat made up by the Channel 19 crack staff team. Working feverishly.
So it's going to be Trish Quinn, Hannah Auchinegro, and Elle Kriebel here to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. Sterling needs base runners. They've had opportunities, and more notably in the 2nd inning where they left the bases loaded with 1 out and weren't able to get any runs across.
And you're going against a pitcher that's strong, and not only that, throwing strikes.
First pitch to Trish Quinn outside.
Do we have any the stat on the walks from McErlane?
She's only issued 1.
1, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. She's definitely around the plate.
3 strikeouts to boot as well. Strong afternoon by McErlane. I don't know what's the bigger story, McErlane's pitching or the Audubon hitting. 2-1 to Trish Quinn.
1 strike.
Both of which have been equally as impressive for Audubon.
And I think one feeds off the other.
Sure. The 2-1. Quinn thought about it. 3-1.
We talked about having the 5-0 lead. You can get into situations against some of the bigger hitters. Pitch backwards, go with maybe a changeup on a first pitch rather than try to get the first pitch fastball for a strike.
And Quinn's aboard with a leadoff walk.
And the other thing, Rob, you can do when you're pitching in a situation with the 5-0 lead with runners on base, you could still try and locate. Whereas if it's a tight game, you're forced to kind of have the strikes a little more out over the plate, and that's when you can run into some trouble.
Brings up Hannah Auchinegro, 0 for 2 on the day. Quinn aboard with a leadoff walk. And M. Slavinsky is going to run for Trish Quinn. Turn your hats inside out, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a Sterling rally. They have it set up nicely here with the leadoff walk, Kevin.
Yeah. And that's where your ninth hitter is almost like your extra leadoff hitter and getting on. And you definitely need a rally at this point.
Showing bunt is Hannah Auchinegro and fouls it off. Winner of this game will either host Cinnaminson or travel to West Deptford to take on the top-seeded Eagles. That game will be on Friday.
1 ball, 1 strike. Play.
The 1-1. Popped up right at McErlane, kind of in no man's land, and she's going to get a board, but they're going to get Slavinsky at second. Fielder's choice, that's just bad luck.
Time is called.
And if you're the runner, you had to stay exactly where you stayed because the ball was right in front of her. You know, if it's over on the other side of the field, you can come off a little bit, but you had to stay right there.
3-6 on the putout.
When you're ahead 5-0, somehow that play works out for you. When you're down 5-0, what happened right there is what's going to happen.
Brings up Elle Kriebel, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 2-0 to Kriebel.
Time is called.
And now time called. Brown going to come out and talk to McErlane as well as the rest of the infield with the exception of Pinero. Sterling needs base runners here, and that was just an unfortunate situation on that last play with Auchinegro. Slavinsky did all she could, and I think she did the right thing. She didn't want to be. You don't want to get doubled up, but then again, you want to be aggressive. Kriebel, beautiful bunt by Kriebel, and she is going to be aboard. Auchinegro moves to second base. And there's 1 out with 2 aboard.
Well, that's in that area where it's a little further away from the catcher. Obviously, the third baseman playing back, they weren't expecting it. A good job of Kriebel forcing the pitcher to get the ball and try to make the play, and is able to leg it out.
Auletto 0 for 2 with a strikeout as well. Low and in the dirt, Brown covers it up nicely. Otherwise, Auchinegro and Kriebel are on second and third. Gets away, the runners are going to advance. On the wild pitch, that bounced in front of Brown.
Yeah, and one of the few times in this game, we're looking at McErlane, the pitcher who's really been in control, has gotten behind hitters in successive at-bats, and a lot of times when she was missing early on, it was high. Now she's missing low.
Taylor Casey comes sprinting out of the Audubon dugout, and she's going to get warm. Hit in the air. That's going to score 1 run. They're waving around Kriebel, and 2 runs are going to score on the RBI. A 2-run single by Emily Auletto. Sterling has life.
Well, that's a big hit by the sophomore, just driving it to the right side. You know, a lot of times you put pressure on yourself, you're trying to pull everything, but Auletto just hit the ball where it was pitched, and that's a huge hit right there to drive home 2 runs, and really, Rob, at this point, give Sterling some life.
Again. Yeah. Okay. Kel,
The flag number 10 is coming in for the deep into one.
Trying to figure out, it looks like they're making some type of substitution.
Then after then, you can tell me that she's coming back in, okay?
So after all that, taking another look at the RBI, the two-run single by Emily Auletto. Runner on first and Emily Auletto. And there's a pinch runner on, I believe that's Bailey Adolph running. Now check that, that's Emily Kozaneski is running now for Auletto. And it's 1-0 to Gabby Ochinegro.
Ball.
2-0. You have to wonder now if McErlane's starting to run out of gas here.
I think that's the case. You always say with pitchers, when you're falling behind the hitters, especially when it's something she really hasn't done all day, and we've seen it 3 or 4 times just in this inning. Auchinegro's going to be taken all the way here.
And what do you do here? You got to leading the team with a 5.56 average. Do you give her the green light?
I think you got to take, especially when you look at a pitcher having trouble with her command at this point.
3-1, 1 out, runner on first base. Sterling gets 2 runs back on the 2-run single by Emily Auletto. Hit in the air, that's going to be a base hit. Kozaneski going to leg it over to third base. She's going to go in sliding. And good heads-up base running by Gabby Ochinegro to extend it over to second base.
And you're seeing, you saw it from Auletto, you saw it from Ochinegro right there, where a lot of the girls were reaching initially. Now they're getting a little closer to plate. They're driving those outside pitches, and that's resulted in a couple hits and a couple runs. And right now, with 1 out, you've got runners in second and third, and Sterling really threatening in a big way here in this bottom of the 5th.
And now a meeting at the mound as Taylor Casey
and Rob,
is done taking her warm-ups.
You look on the replay, and as coaches, you always want to hit the cutoff, and if you miss the cutoff, what's going to happen is what happened right there. You see Ochinegro advancing to second base, and like we said, putting runners at second and third here with 1 out, and definitely a pressure situation, no question about it.
So to reset everything, Kozaneski on third, Gabby Ochinegro on second, 1 out for Marisa Naegele. She can tie the game with 1 swing of the bat.
She's done it before. He 1 home run this year, but I believe last year she may have had 4 or 5 home runs. And coming off an outstanding at bat too, last time up.
Called strike. Naegele 1 for 1 with a walk this afternoon.
And if you're Sterling, with the way McErlane is struggling a little bit right now, Marisa Naegele, with the type of hitter that she is, very selective, is the one you want up there.
Just missed there, 1-1 to Naegele. Ashley Croge waits on deck.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Huge situation here for Sterling. They need to get some more runs across.
Ball.
Just missed again, 2-1.
And for all the things that haven't worked out for Sterling, one thing you have working out right now is having Marisa Naegele up in this situation, and just as good having Ashley Croge coming on, being on deck and being ready to get up there.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, right.
Here comes the 2-1 pitch from McErlane. Hit on the ground off the glove of McErlane. She's going to look the runner back at third and just barely get a speedy Naegele at first base. 1-3 on the putout, but she waited a split second longer.
She did what she had to do, because if you don't turn and freeze the runner, that's where Kozaneski on the throw is going to go home.
So 2 down for Ashley Croge.
That's a big out, because having Ashley Croge up where there's no room as opposed to having first base open changes how McErlane is going to pitch Croge.
Croge on the ground to short. Fires over to first for the final out of the inning, and the threat is over. 6-3 on the putout. Nice job by Pinero at shortstop. But Sterling gets 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, and they leave 2 on. They've left 6 runners on through 5 innings.
Well, they had to get the 2 runs, but if you're Audubon, especially with how McErlane, for the first time in this game, struggled a little bit, especially with their command, it could have been worse for them, especially with Sterling having runners on second, third, with Marisa Naegele and Ashley Croge up. 2 hitters you want up in that situation, and they're not able to get the runners home.
5-2 Audubon as we head to the top of the 6th inning. It's back to the top of the lineup for the Green Wave and Golden, Pinero, and McErlane. As a reminder here on Channel 19, coming up some more additional programming this week. Promenade is going to be live here on Friday beginning at 6 o'clock. I'll have the call on that one, as always. So feel free to show up. If you can't make it out, you can listen to it and watch it on Channel 19. Stream it live off of our website as well. Get a chance to see everybody all dressed up.
That's it.
And then prom to follow that. The weather forecast right now, sorry ladies, not looking that good. But you never know. We thought Sunday was going to be a washout here, and it wound up being okay.
The weather has been unbelievably unpredictable over the last couple months. More so than I can remember. Amy Golden up. She had a big part of that rally in the first inning, or second inning, I believe. I'm sorry, second inning. Where Audubon was able to get their 4 runs. And we're obviously here at Sterling, but we're welcoming the people in the Audubon area who are going to be watching this game, and hopefully we'll have that on there next couple nights.
Hello, Green Wave fanatics. 0-1 to Amy Golden. Golden was called out at, that runner's interference that popped up down the third base line. Gabby Ochinegro squeezed it for the first out of the inning, but Golden got out of that inning with that runner's interference back in the third on one of the runners that ran into Marisa Naegele.
That was a big play because that was an extra run right there also, and it could have been more.
Brings up Deanna Pinero. 2 for 3 on the day. She pops out to Marisa Naegele, floating over behind second base to make the catch. 2 away. 3 pitches, 2 outs for Trish Quinn, and she needs a quick inning here. Mentioned this earlier. Audubon has put a runner on base every single inning in this contest.
And you look at McErlane coming off a tough inning, threw a lot of pitches, and a quick inning here by Quinn gets McErlane right back on the mound.
McErlane 1 for 3 with a double. And she hits it on the ground to Gabby Ochinegro, bobbles it momentarily, fires over to first for the out. Great job again by Gabby Ochinegro at the hot corner. 1-2-3 inning, the first that they've had in this game. And when they need it the most, Sterling has 6 outs to work with. They need runs.
Absolutely. We see the replay right here. That's what we talk about Gabby Ochinegro as a third baseman that probably moves as well laterally as any girl in the conference. And right there was able to get to a hard hit ball, knock it down, recover, and do a great job setting the feet that only those two can appreciate. Mr. Farr and the elder Mr. K, a veteran of South Jersey baseball for, is 50 years accurate? Younger Mr. K? About 50 years has Coached that probably for 35 to 40 years, roughly, somewhere in there at Eastern High School. Getting good.
What a great job that Coach Johnson has done here over her tenure here as head coach. Girls really love her and take to her, and got a state title to her name as well, back from, I believe that was 09?
2008. Her
2008.
first year was the state champion. South Jersey champion in 2011. I believe that was when Mrs. Almacy, who works now for Sterling, was the pitcher on that team.
It's going to be Kaylee Whalen, Marissa Edmonds, and Trish Quinn, 7, 8, 9 hitters for Sterling. Trying to do what Audubon did with their bottom half of the lineup.
Well, each team offensively has been able to get runners on, and a 3-run deficit is not, outside of the realm of thinking you can't come back.
I'll be the first to say it, Audubon yet to commit an error all day.
One ball, one strike.
1-2 to Kaylee Whalen. She's 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Stranded at second base back in the second inning. 1-2 to Kaylee Whalen to lead off the bottom of the 6th. High, ball 2.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
We'll see how McErlane responds here in the bottom of the 6th after a quick top of the 6th where she ended the inning. It looked like she was starting to struggle here in that 5th inning, Schulze.
Yeah. That's why we talked about Quinn just getting through the batters in that last inning and get McErlane back on that mound.
And a leadoff walk to Kaylee Whalen. And that brings up Marissa Edmonds. She's 0 for 1.
Many a big inning has started with a leadoff walk.
Last inning started off with a leadoff walk. And it led to 2 Sterling runs. Just 3 batters later. No outs. Bottom of the 6th, Sterling in need of runs. With just 6 outs to work with. First pitch, high, ball 1.
Not sure how many pitches McErlane has, but on a fairly warm day, definitely to the point where she's laboring out there.
Again, another ball. 2-0 to Edmonds.
2 balls, no strike.
I have to think she's going to be taken here.
On the ground to short. Pinero, high throw, but they got her. Moving up to second base is Whalen. 6-3 on the putout.
There we just hit the ball to the shortstop right there, and we're able to get the
nice play by the first baseman
by about a step.
Hawkins. Bailey Adolph is up to bat right now as a pinch hitter, hitting .516, 4 doubles, 7 RBIs on the season.
Well, Bailey Adolph, definitely a girl up there who can drive the ball.
1 out, ladies.
Whalen on second, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Just like that, our friendly win is coming in here. Took a little bit, but finally here in the bottom of the 6th.
On the ground, just foul. Bobo had third base line covered. One and one to Bailey Adolph. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Popped up behind the truck. Almost skipped right into the truck.
And that's a nice pitcher's pitch right there. I know McErlane's been struggling a little bit, but really reached back and put one out on the outside part of the plate and had Adolph reaching.
The 1-2. Bailey ducks out of the way, 2-2.
Good waist pitch right there. Look for it to go low and away after going high and inside. And you can't forget the slow pitch, not the changeup. There's the fastball, the changeup, and then the slow pitch where the arm motion slows down drastically in the last couple feet of delivery.
2-2 to Adolph. There's that balloon pitch. He pops it right back up to McErlane, who squeezes it for out number 2.
Yep, catches her off stride, and I got to give credit to Mr. K for calling that one.
Is he part of the crack staff in the truck too?
That's right.
There you go. Back to the top of the lineup for Hannah Ochinegro. 0 for 2 with a run scored. Whalen at second, 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Called strike to Hannah Ochinegro. Here comes the 1-1. Low, ball 2.
Was it a slash stance? Ochinegro was doing that slash stance early on. Now a little bit different. Just digging in and swinging away.
And that one hit her. This one will not be a contest. She tried to get away from that one. That one's going to leave a mark. Right in the back. So now you got runners on first and second. And again, El Kriebel, who played hero in the last game with a walk-off single, can play hero here with one swing of the bat. She's 1 for 3 with a run scored. El Kriebel, no home runs on the season. And she looks at strike number 1.
And sometimes in a playoff situation, you'll get that girl that you said maybe isn't a home run hitter to come up with a big hit. The pitcher might think I could get one out over the plate on her.
One ball, 1 strike.
Come on, Sam. Come on, Sam.
The 1-1 with 2 outs to El Kriebel. On the ground, foul down the third baseline. 1-2.
Seen a lot of foul balls down the third baseline. You know, we talked about that lob pitch, but I think what gets the hitters out in front is just your regular changeup right there. They're out in front of it. That's a way McErlane's been able to, at times, get ahead of hitters.
There's that balloon pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
2-2, 2 outs. 2 runners aboard. Here comes a pitch from McErlane.
Ball.
Just missed. McErlane almost walking off the mound. Thought she had that one.
Well, that's that one on the outside part of the plate, but I think that was just, you had the late movement. When you're a catcher reaching out about 2 feet, it's going to have a tough time getting that one.
3-2 pitch. Inside low, ball 4, so runners will advance. Now runners on every bag. Second walk of the inning issued by McErlane. And it's going to be up to Emily Auletto, who is responsible for Sterling's 2 runs.
Well, the advantage here with 2 outs, Rob, is you're going to have the hitters running on contact. So, you know, any ball hit to the outfield, there's a real good chance you're going to be able to get 2 runs right here. Whereas with 1 out or no outs, you were kind of flat-footed and you can't get that good jump.
Auletto again 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a huge position here for Sterling. Auletto fouls first pitch off.
Well, Paul really got a lot of the plate right there. I'm sure Auletto would like to have that one back. And Auletto hit the ball to the right side last time, and boy, could they use something like that right now.
Auletto gonna stay foul. Oh, almost. Tailing foul. And
that's that one where we have terrible perspective here, and that looks like a base hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 2 feet foul, but again, from our vantage point, we can't see that line at all. The 0-2. On the ground to third. Bobo to first. Hawkins scoops it up. And the threat is over.
And McErlane goes back to that changeup. Again, gets the hitters out in front, is able to get the ground ball out. Something that we've seen her get those foul balls to down the third base line. And there you see a ground ball right to the third baseman. And again, give credit to McErlane. I mean, there's times where she struggled, but she's really kept herself composed and gotten herself out of some tough innings. And Rob, you talk about very good pitchers, and I think, especially in softball, you talk about baseball, the mental part is really big, but softball, the field's so small, everything happens in a tight area. A lot of pressure on the pitchers, and great job by McErlane holding it together and getting herself out of this inning and keeping the lead at 3 for Audubon.
Still 5-2. Sterling, to this point, has left 9 runners on base.
You talk about impressive things. Our cameraman, Dave Heckman, has got some makeshift shorts over there. Looks like their sweatpants rolled up. Good move there by Dave Heckman. Now we're going to go into a dance routine. Dave could end up being completely out of control here. Well, Audubon right now, I mean, Trish Quinn has done a nice job at holding Audubon to 5 runs after they got that 4 in the second inning and tacked on 1.
First pitch
after that last inning.
Hawkins, Sterling has left 9 runners on base through 6 innings. 3 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and 3 in the sixth. It's a fair ball down the line. I thought I heard the umpire say foul.
That
was clearly fair.
Let me see.
Take another look at it.
Okay.
And it's a leadoff single for McHale Hawkins.
Coach, you can go back in. You can go back in. No, ma'am. Hey, Coach, you can go in. I got it.
Don't take it out of their hand. Come on, girls, let's go!
Frustrating afternoon for Coach Johnson, on and off the field, I'm sure.
Well, at this point, you just want to fight for your team and have their backs.
Taking another look at it.
Yeah, it looked like it just went over the base.
Bunt down the first baseline. Quinn's going to scoop it up and fire to first for the out. But Hawkins going to head over to second base.
Infield checker at 2!
Well, that's what you want to do in this situation. There you go. As we look at the replay right there, just hug the line.
And we're going to have a pinch runner.
Audubon doing what they have to do with the sacrifice.
Mackenzie Greenwood going to come in and run for Michaela Hawkins. Brittany Brown steps in now. 1 for 2 with a double and 2 runs scored. It's been the bottom half of the lineup here for Audubon. It's really been the story here this afternoon. First pitch in there for a called strike.
Finish that swing, right? Come on, Seth, you got it, kid!
Audubon looking for some insurance here. On the ground, Ochinegro looks back to runner at second and fires over to first for the second out of the inning.
Another great play by Ochinegro. I mean, you talk about little things, just being aware of the situation. And that's a play where you look to third.
10 coming in for 7.
You have to know how much time you had, and Ochinegro just timed that perfectly, froze the runner, didn't allow her to advance to third, but at the same time was able to get the out.
Ashley Pence is going to come into the game now for Jax Panico here in the top of the 7th. For Sterling, in the bottom of the 7th, it's going to be Gab Ochinegro, Marisa Naegele, and Ashley Croge. But Sterling's got to get through this 7th defensively first.
Ball.
Come on, Chris, you got it, kid! Come on, Chris, 1, 2, 3, get 1, 2, 3.
1-0 to Pence.
Ball.
2-0.
Didn't miss by much. Yeah, let's just look at this again.
Come on, Chris!
2 balls, no strike.
Wow, that has definitely been a strike today.
On the ground, Naegele to Edmonds for the out. 6-3 on the putout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1. Last chance here for Sterling, trailing by 3. And it'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters to try and save their season.
Now this is it. And again, you know, we talked about how McErlane has battled and gotten out of tough situations. She's just got to reach down and get that last little bit here to get out of this inning. And Audubon's going to advance to the Group 2 championship game at either West Deptford or Cinnaminson. And I think if, looking at the seedings, I didn't see, I know we looked at the bracket earlier, but I'm not sure if they win this game and somehow Cinnaminson wins, if Audubon would get the home championship game.
Baseball final. We mentioned the Highland Toms River South Jersey Group 3 semifinal. Highland defeats Toms River South, my alma mater, 5-0. Anthony Maselli, a complete game. I believe there's a write-up in the paper about him in the Courier Post, so congratulations to the Highland Tartans and Anthony Maselli.
Yeah, that's a real good team with a couple of very good pitchers.
Also have Scafidi,
Yep.
who will be playing ball at Penn. Back to softball action. Gabby Ochinegro looks at called first strike.
Like it could have been called a little inside.
Ochinegro leads off the bottom of the 7th with a base hit into left field. Gabby Ochinegro 3 for 4 today.
Hopefully that's a sign of better things to come, because that line drive by a lot of the Sterling girls was finding fielders in the early part of this game.
Marisa Naegele 1 for 2 with a walk.
And Ochinegro was able to get the first base hit off the balloon lob pitch. Other girls have hit it hard, but she was the first one to find an opening.
Pops this one up, giving chase, and not able to make the catch right in front of the dugout. The combination of Brown and Bobo.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where if it's your home field, you've got a better chance of making it because you know exactly how much room you have right there in that foul territory.
One ball, one strike.
1-1 to Naegele. On the ground, right back to McErlane. She's going to go to second. She doesn't get her.
Yep. And that's the play where you just get the out. You want to go to first. You're up by 3. Get the out. And just like that, Sterling has runners on first and second. The runner's safe at second.
Ashley Croge can tie the game right here. First pitch to her. Swung on, hit right back at McErlane. She's going to go first for the out, but the 2 runners advance. What a shot by Ashley Croge.
And that was a pull. And look at the part of the plate that got. I guarantee you, she did not want to get that much plate on that pitch to Ashley Croge.
And they're going to check on McErlane here. That went right off of her glove. That was hit about as hard as you can hit it.
And how many balls have we seen today? You know, you talk about baseball being a game of a couple feet here or there. That's up a couple feet. And, you know,
it's in the center field.
You have a run. You have runners on first and second, and possibly getting the runner from second scoring. Yep,
that looks like that one might have gone off her left wrist, and I think that's what they're checking with her. And off the glove. Either way, that's gonna sting a little bit. She's gonna stay into the game.
One out, lady. One.
Ochinegro on third, Naegele on second. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Sterling trailing by 3. First pitch to Whalen. 1 hopper. That's going to be an infield single as Whalen is going to score 1. It's 5-3.
Well, that's one of those ones on a very hard infield. The high hopper, if it gets past you, you allow it to get that second hop. And she's feeling it on a backhand going towards second base. Whalen's easily able to beat that one out.
It's going to be Marissa Edmonds, 0 for 2. We have runners on the corners. Therefore called strike. McErlane really going to have to earn this one. She's in a jam here. Runners on the corners, 1 out. And the winning run at the plate.
Regardless of what happens, this Sterling team has been fighting all the way. No question about it. They're not giving up at all.
The 0-1. Swung on and missed, 0-2.
Yeah, there's that changeup that she's got hitters to either miss or pull for foul balls, and is able to get a big strike right there.
McErlane, only a sophomore.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Impressive outing by her. Hit foul.
Yeah, right now you've got the runners on first and third. Sometimes you're going to steal, and they'll kind of give it to you, but they could, you never know, at times they might try to go for the out.
In the center field for a base hit. 1 run will score, and it's a 1-run game on the RBI single by Marissa Edmonds.
And she just exploded on that one. And you know, as we get into this round a little bit later, you know, as we've seen from both pitchers, when runners get on base, that's when more balls are going to be put out over the plate. And that one was right out over the plate, and Edmonds didn't miss it.
3 hits in the inning for Sterling. And it's Trish Quinn trying to keep the rally alive. Fouls the first pitch off.
Now there's that changeup again to start things off to Trish Quinn.
Winning run on first base in Marissa Edmonds. What a comeback this would be. The 0-1. High, ball 1.
Big pitch right here. This is with runners on first and second. Again, this is an opportunity where you could get one out over the plate. A good hitter's count here.
Just missed. 2-1.
And an even better hitter's count right now.
Trish Quinn can get on board. We'll be back to the top of the lineup with Hannah Ochinegro. Swung on and missed. 2-2. Took a little off that one, did McErlane.
Now this is it where she's going to that lob pitch at times.
Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, hit in the air towards left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. They're going to try to go to third for the force out, and they don't get her. Base is loaded now for the top of the lineup.
And that's a tough play. Good job. You talk about base running. Kaylee Whalen was in a tough situation. She really had to freeze right there, because if the catch is made with the outfielder with momentum, she could have easily had her double off at second, and you couldn't even go halfway on that. You really had to be back towards the base until you read it right. And then Kaylee Whalen broke right at the right time. Great job of base running, getting to third base.
Bases loaded for Hannah Ochinegro. Quinn at first, Edmonds at second, Whalen at third.
Yeah, but you can go. Same number 6.
They're going to put M. Slavinsky in for Trish Quinn to run at first base. What a comeback this would be.
Yeah, I can't imagine her surviving. There's going to be delivery on the first base line.
Should we set the over-under on at what point?
It's
labor is,
our contraction.
Labor is imminent.
Our contraction cam. It's at our contraction
fetal monitor.
timer.
We should have a remote fetal monitor.
10 minutes.
Can we put that in the Channel 19 budget?
We could. You know?
And they're going to stick with McErlane, the sophomore. It's back to the top of the lineup with the team's leading run scorer, Hannah Ochinegro, the junior. An all-conference selection. Has the game on her back. With 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Low, ball 1. Yep.
And that looked like that went across the plate at the knees.
The 1-0. Gets out of the way to Ochinegro. It's 2-0. And you talk about hitters counts right now, Schulze.
And well, you have to be taken here. Bases loaded. The pressure is on the pitcher. I'd be surprised if she wasn't taken here.
A walk ties the game. Sophomore in a jam here to end the game. The 2-0. Swung on and missed. Got the green light. Got a pitch to hit, too.
Yep.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Just missed her spot. The 2-1.
Strike.
Called strike 2-2. Huge at bat here for the Green Wave.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Kind of froze Ochinegro. The 2-2. Popped up foul out of play.
Little up, but at that point, Hannah Ochinegro's got to swing at that one. Anything close with 2 strikes.
And this one hits Ochinegro, and that's going to tie the game. Ochinegro takes one for the team, and this game is tied with 1 out.
Now, the Audubon coach is going to go in there and talk to the umpire. Let's see. We'll look at this. Oh, wow. It looked like she stuck the leg out a little bit. We think we might have got the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. May make up for the other one, though.
Yeah.
And it's on the bat of guess who? El Kriebel. Won it against Buna.
Here we see this again. Just kind of stuck that leg out. I think you're better off, you have a better chance of getting that if you do it with the back leg as opposed to the front leg.
Kriebel. One at the knees, called strike 0-2.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Kriebel in the air to right field, making the catch is Panico. Coming in to score the winning run. And Sterling comes back with 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th to win it. Marissa Edmonds scores the winning run. Unbelievable. El Kriebel, Captain Clutch, does it again.
Well, you talk about one of your senior leaders. Again, we continue to say how she's been in this moment, definitely welcomes it, has had a lot of experience in a couple different sports. Comes up big here, driving the ball to right field. And then you see Kaylee Whalen, who did a great job of base running in this inning. First, getting to third, and then right there on that play, tagging up, going home, forcing them to throw it and make a play. And just like that, Sterling's in the championship game.
More replays are en route. Sterling trail 5-2 coming into this inning and score 4 in the bottom of the 7th to win it.
And this wasn't just a comeback against any team. This is a comeback against a very good team that has a pitcher that's an all-conference pitcher. And you got to give credit to these girls for battling. Looked like a high pitch to the outside part of the plate. And Rob, one thing, and you saw this from El Kriebel right here, that the hitters from Sterling started to do as the game wore on, is that pitch to the outside part of the plate that they were reaching and lunging for, they started to drive to right field. We saw that with a couple of the RBI singles to the right side, and we saw that right there with the game-winning sacrifice fly by El Kriebel to put Sterling in the championship game.
Does it in consecutive games, the sac fly. She knew she was out. Close play at the plate.
And this comeback, Rob, is the advantage of having